Why did some of Paul's dreams come true, while others didn't? How did the Baron survive the gas attack? And how can the Fremens ride the giant sandworms? Dune showed us so many spectacular things, but hardly explained any of them. Let's dive deep and try to answer all the burning questions left after watching Dune.
It's time.
The Dune sequel is officially happening. We know that it will cover the second part of Frank Herbert's book, and that there's also a chance that the franchise won't stop there. There is Dune's second book, Dune Messiah, which could make an extraordinary film. I always saw that there could be a trilogy. Isn't that the greatest news ever? Now, some of you might wonder, 2 movies based on the first book and only 1 movie for the second book? How is that even possible? Easy, folks. Dune Messiah is a lot shorter than the first part, so it may fit the length of a feature movie perfectly. Well, at least if it's Denis Villeneuve's movie. Let's hope that a trilogy will be enough to answer all the burning questions fans have, like those regarding Paul's dreams. Why did some of them come true and some of them didn't?
My planet Arrakis is so beautiful when the sun is low, rolling over the sands. You can see spice in the air.
The key to understanding Paul's dreams hides in his family tree. Not only is he a son of a royal family, but also a son of a Bene Gesserit member. As we know from the dialogue between the Reverend Mother and Lady Jessica, Paul was an anomaly of a centuries-long breeding program, whose goal was to bring a chosen one, Kwisatz Haderach. Paul's ability to see premonitory dreams hints that he is indeed the chosen one. Like, Paul saw a vision where Chani stabbed him, while in reality, she gave him a cryst knife which he used to kill Jamis. Seems a bit messed up, right? The thing is, Paul's visions aren't exact predictions. Yep, rather, they are variations of what might happen. To take a life is to take your own. That is what Paul heard in one of his dreams, and we can assume that it symbolized that by killing Jamis, Paul died in a sense too, because he'll never be the same after his first murder. It will clearly take some time until Paul can understand his visions, and along with that skill, the young Atreides will need to learn many others too. Yep, we already saw him using the voice in the movie, although most of the time, not very successfully.
Give me the water.
But that's only a matter of practice.
Remove her gag.
From the books, we know that Paul was also trained as a Mentat. This means that he is insanely good in logic and computing. And perhaps the coolest of all is that in the sequel, Paul might learn how to ride a sandworm. Remember those maker hooks? Yep. Fremens use those to bend the Arrakis beasts. In one of Paul's visions, Jamis told him, "The mystery of life isn't a problem to solve, but a reality to experience, a process that cannot be understood by stopping it. We must move with the flow of the process." After saying that, Jamis stood up and took his maker hooks as if he was going to ride a sandworm. So perhaps that is foreshadowing Paul learning a new insane skill. But hey, those sandworms are huge, you might say. How could anyone ride them?
A great man doesn't seek to lead, he's called to it.
Indeed, it seems impossible. Denis Villeneuve's gonna have a hard time making it look realistic. Not like this, David Lynch. Dying to see Timothee Chalamer dealing with Shai Hulud in the Dune sequel. Learning how to ride a sandworm would never be an option for Paul if not for the Baron's invasion. That greedy rascal messed things up on Arrakis. And the next burning question that fans have is, how did he survive the gas attack? Like, everyone in that room died. The Baron was definitely affected by the gas. We saw him healing and recovering in that creepy bath.
Squeeze, Rabbit. Squeeze hard.
Yes, Uncle. And the vermin.
Kill them all.
But his floating skills helped him to survive the attack. The interesting thing is that he never floated in the book. Yep, the Baron used suspensor belts, which helped him to nullify gravity and make his body weightless. He might weigh 200 standard kilos in actuality, but his feet would carry no more than 50 of them, Frank Herbert wrote in his book. In the movie, Baron used that same anti-gravity technology, but its power was exaggerated to make the villain look more spectacular.
My Arrakis. My Dune.
The Baron's plan is gruesome, but he won't ever be able to implement it without the Emperor's help. So the next burning question is, what's the deal with the Emperor? What is his goal? What game is he playing? It's called dirty politics.
How dare you speak to me in that—
You're speaking!
While we didn't get a chance to see him yet, the Emperor has already played a key role in creating and escalating the conflict. Yes, he was afraid of Duke Leto. That's why he came up with a terrible idea to collide House Atreides with their biggest enemies, which is House Harkonnen, of course.
I have promised the Baron 5 legions of my Sardaukar terror troops.
So the Harkonnens.
This would have been the perfect plan if only Paul and his mother hadn't survived. Now, as long as they are aware of his betrayal, they present a threat to the Emperor. Imagine if other royal houses found out about the Emperor's dirty political game. That sounds like a perfect reason to start a galactic war. Can't wait to see how Dune's adaptation will deal with that. Another nagging question that confused most of the fans is why Leto and Jessica weren't married. I mean, they have a son, Paul. They live together and they seem to love each other, so what's the deal here? It's the same answer again. Politics. The Duke didn't marry in order to have a political option to tie the knot with a woman from any other family house, which sounds pretty messed up, but that's the medieval order of Dune's world. The saddest thing here is that Leto always regretted not marrying Lady Jessica, which he shared during their last conversation. Fingers crossed that in the sequel, more details will be revealed about Leto and Jessica's relationship. Many fans had lots of questions about the technologies in Dune.
The humans decided in the past that artificial intelligence was the wrong way for evolution, for human evolution. They ban computers and they rely only into the human brain, into the human spirit.
We made another video focusing on that, but here let's cover the biggest issue that most viewers didn't get while watching. What are those defensive shields? How do they work? And why do the characters use blades and not guns in Dune? It's actually pretty simple. The shields present an energy barrier that can be calibrated to the needs of whoever wears it. Yep, it can be so dense that it won't allow a single air molecule to pass through, or it can be loose enough for someone to reach a hand through. That's why personal combat, the sword and the knife, are back in fashion, because it's the only way you can kill an opponent, to bring a blade slowly through that shield, Villeneuve explained.
I will look down, my lord. You're to join me in death.
This explains why we don't see any handguns in Dune. It also explains the weird battle choreography that you saw in the movie. According to the director, fights in the world of Dune are similar to a chess game. You try to choreograph very fast moves in order to distract the opponent and bring a blade close enough to kill him. This approach worked not only with the hand-to-hand combat, but in the bombing scenes too. I came with the idea for the Harkonnen army to use drifting mines that slowly go down like some sort of Tetris game from hell, Villeneuve said. We are so used to fast objects, playing with the speed was really exciting to do. If you want to know more about the technologies in Dune, then check out this video too. Thanks for staying with us, and take care.